The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys! This is Media Mash,
a roundtable of Cowboys insiders,
dropping wisdom
and offering sizzling takes
on the current state of your Dallas Cowboys.
Now, your host,
Newy Scruggs.
Let's ride. Media Mash coming your way from the Star at Frisco and SWC BC podcast studios. You know the crew. Chuck Taylor, who's here. His book has dropped. Coach Prime and the Making of Men. Congratulations, sir.
Thanks, bro.
All right. We got Nick Harris here from DallasCowboys.com. And we have my favorite Omega Sci-Fi fraternity brother. He is Clarence Hill, Fort Worth Star Telegram. I'm merely Newy Scruggs. Hello, buddy. How we doing now?
Doing good.
All right, all right.
How the Cowboys doing? That's what we need to know. I mean, we fine.
Baseball time.
We woke up. We woke up this morning.
Baseball time.
What's up with Corey Seager?
Exactly.
Is it baseball time?
Oh, yeah, baseball time, man. Evan Cardinal turned that thing. It's baseball time.
I will say this.
Jonah Heim, fast transfers. I mean, it's baseball time.
Having been at the 49er game and then being at the Ranger game, last night was needed by the town. Because that 49er loss had people feeling some kind of way, and it wasn't good. Yeah. So to see the town get a feel good was nice.
And get a chance for revenge. Revenge. We want revenge. We want revenge against Houston. I know somebody else wanted revenge last weekend.
Get back.
Somebody else wanted revenge last weekend. It didn't go too well. You cannot talk about this game being a measuring stick game. You cannot talk about being bitter and working out all summer and this personal because of the last two losses. You cannot talk about how this game will give you validation about the changes you made and be a shot in the arm and go out there and lay an egg like that.
Why you can't? We saw that they did.
You can't. It's inexcusable. We're from Texas. I had no cattle. I mean, you wrote a check your butt couldn't cash. I mean,
I read that somewhere.
You read that. I wrote that. It makes no sense.
Maybe they're just not good enough.
Well, somebody said they were good enough. They just didn't play well.
Maybe.
Michael said we're the same team.
Michael thought Michael said it was. I don't know what he said.
Hey, we got the same talent. We got the same team. We got the same level of team.
He said the shirt that George Kittle's wore made it personal.
No, the next day.
That's what I'm saying. But the 49ers was like, no, we went into the game thinking it was personal.
Yeah, right. Debo said it was personal last night. It was personal Sunday.
Right.
Where were you?
It's been personal for 30 years.
Exchanging jerseys with Christian
it's
personal before Nick was born.
It was personal well before Nick was born. What are we doing here? But you can't do that. That's.
Well, I mean, why? I mean, I think, okay, you can't do that. Well, obviously you can because they did. But I think the bigger question is, how did it happen? And was it an anomaly? Or is because the last two times they lost in playoffs, they didn't get beat down like that. That's the second time for you, man.
That's Captain Walker. First of all, the Arizona.
He knows what he had too. So
Arizona was an anomaly. Okay, that was supposed to be an anomaly. This was not an anomaly. This was Spence Crawford.
Yeah, I said that. That's what I thought.
I like that.
They just got beat up.
They were outclassed.
Yeah,
and they were a level above. Whether that could be true at the end of the season, it's a long season. But right now, the 49ers are a level above the Cowboys. And I wouldn't say that was not the case to me last January.
Okay, so that's the question. Why do you think that is?
Nick?
There's too much skill on both sides of the ball, but I think what we really saw on Sunday night was a team get outcoached from top to bottom. Kyle Shanahan came out with a phenomenal game plan. He's put his guys in positions to get open, to get down the field. Defensively, the Cowboys were thrown out of whack from the very beginning as well. I mean, they had a couple of big-time impact plays. The Jordan Lewis fumble, I mean, that was an opportunity for them to kind of generate some momentum out of that. Didn't quite work out. But when it comes to getting guys open, man, there's probably only two guys I can look at in the league that say that they can do it against any defense, and Kyle Shanahan's one of them.
Go into also Steve Wilks, defensive coordinator for the 49ers.
Yep.
And Kyle gets his flowers offensively, but defensively, they held the Cowboys to really one good drive. That was it. One good drive.
One drive of more than 6 plays, which is crazy. So
Steve Wilks and D'Amico Ryans is now coaching in Houston. He was their former defensive coordinator. Before that was Robert Saleh's now the head coach with the Jets. And Steve Wilks looks like he's already been a head coach. He should have been the head coach of the Carolina Panthers, who are now 0-5. What he's doing right now, this defense it's playing some really good football, and they tore up the Cowboys.
Yeah, when it comes to this Cowboys offense, if they can't establish the run game, then I fear for them in a game. And that's what the 49ers saw, and they attacked it early on. You saw the first 4 drives, wasn't able to get anything going. And then that allows the secondary to be so much more physical throughout the game when they know that the box is going to be taken care of. And that's when we saw the interceptions in the second half. And it's just a trickle-down effect from there. But it starts up front with those guys, and they are some guys.
And Steve Wilkes was so good, got CeeDee Lamb mad.
Yeah.
Well, and let's tell it all, because it's a contrast, because we started praising Kyle Shanahan and his scheming, and what he did and what he was able to do to this Cowboys defense. They were confused in the secondary. They didn't, they had a game plan, and it was confused. And we talk about Steve Wilkes, but on the flip side, we also got to talk about how much better the 49ers offensive game plan was than the Cowboys game plan, and that Cowboys offense. And it goes right to the head coach who's running the offense and calling the plays. And, when we talk about last year to this year, the major thing they did after last year's loss was they fired the offensive coordinator, fired about 8 coaches. Mike McCarthy took over the offense, took over the play calling, got rid of Kellen Moore. Not that the Cowboys had success against the 49ers under Kellen Moore, because they only scored 12 points last year in that playoff game and 16 the year before. But they had scored points during the season. As we took a look at this offense, the first 4 games, like, okay, yeah, it's about the defense. Yeah, they're being conservative. But now, in this game, when they need the offense to do something, it was awful. It was awful, and there's so many people talking about the routes and people not getting open and the play designs and everything else. This is a referendum on what the Cowboys have done in the offseason since that game.
And I thought they would be a lot better with the 5 offensive linemen being there.
Me and you both.
I thought, okay, 77 is back. Oh, let's go. And
well, it's going to take them a minute to gel to a certain extent, but that has nothing to do with receivers not getting open, the play calls, and everything else.
1 touchdown. That was, for all that, 1 touchdown, which I did not think was going to happen. I thought this would be I picked the 49ers to win, but I picked them to win a close game. I thought 49ers by 4. Not 49ers put up 42, and then they decided, hey,
we don't want to score 50.
You guys are now Louisiana directional school, so we're going to call off the dogs and bring in all the red shirt guys.
But to me, this is – I've said along, and we've talked about Dak and my defense on the narratives. Mike McCarthy said it Monday. This team will be led by the defense. This is a defense-led team. I'm calling plays on offense because of defense. The Cowboys want to be the 49ers. They want to have a strong defense, a running game where they can put their quarterback in great positions, great situations to win. Okay, and always ahead of the chains. That's the goal. But they want to have a shutdown defense that's dominating, smothering, and then they can play their style of football. That's what Mike McCarthy wants to do with Dak Prescott. When they say, can Dak win? He can win if you have these situations right. He's not going to elevate these guys because that's not his game. He's not going to put a rabbit out of his hat. But all the hope this year, this year could be different because this defense was supposed to be special. It's supposed to be a championship. That's what they've talked about. They've openly talked about being a championship-level defense. That was the most disappointing thing for the Cowboys going forward, is that if this defense can't be special, this team ain't going to be special.
And you look at the success that this defense has had against specific offenses this year. You look at the Jets, Giants, and Patriots. I think the top-ranked offense in that and those 3 teams is like 24th in the league.
Right.
So it works.
Questionable quarterback play, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And they finally play a team with a competent offense, competent head coach, and they got undressed. Let's be honest. And it's funny because Mike McCarthy tried to point out that the turnovers is what caused the game to get away. It was 28-10 before Dak threw his first interception. The game was gone.
No, the game was gone.
The defense had to stop nobody.
Competitive phase was over.
To me, the most humiliating part of many humiliating parts is they hit Ayuk for 40. They get a call back for holding, 3rd and 13. Who comes back and hits another 40-yard pass?
How do you land? Where's the pass rush? Those 40-yard passes are not 3-step drops, okay?
No,
those are 7, so it's not like they're getting the ball out quick, so we can't get there. Now, this was not a get the ball out quick situation. Yeah. He went out there, had plenty of time to throw, finding Deebo Samuel's crossing, which, again, the crosses were killing the Cowboys in the secondary. But where was the pass rush? The best part, we want to put them in long situations. We want to earn the right to rush the pass. What you did was 3rd and 14. Chance to give your offense some momentum, get back off the field, and get back in this game. gave up that pass. You can't do that.
Yeah, that was the end of the game for me. Whenever they converted it after that holding penalty, that's when I just started writing my article to get ready before we could go down. I was like, all right, let's get this. Let's knock this out.
A wrap.
I mean, because that's what you want, right? Put him in long situations. Put him in unfavorable down and distance. That's what's going to get Purdy. You put him in unfavorable down and distance because they had a lot of 3rd and 2s and 3rd and 3s. But that's the time you get off the field.
Even bigger than that is they just kicked the field goal, so it's 21-10. You get a stop. It's 3rd and long. Get a stop. Maybe you can drive again, make a game of it. Even if it's 21-13, not one possession. If it's 21-17, you back in it.
Right.
But to give up back-to-back 40-yard passes,
you can't. Again, you can't do that.
It's incredible. I mean, it was so bad. I was like, wow, like.
Then the unconscionable penalty. You line up offsides. You're the safety. You line up offsides on an incomplete pass on 3rd down. You have a chance to get them off the field. How do you line up offsides?
We didn't get to ask him afterwards.
He's talking today at 3:15. But how do you line? I just don't understand.
That part's a lack of focus. You're so locked in that you're not focused.
When Jalen Tolbert did that last year at Green Bay, okay, he was young and excited, but you're a veteran. You cannot line up offsides.
He's like a yard offsides.
On 3rd down, too.
Oh, my God.
There's so many levels to it.
Luckily, they called the dogs off, and it was 42-10. And you guys were already gone from the interview room, but I'm kind of getting some stuff. And these 2 staffers were sitting in a cart outside. I didn't know they had a boombox. And next thing I know, I hear them playing We Them Boys.
Oh, 49er staffer.
Yeah, 49er staffer. I'm like, oh, man, that's dirty. That's just dirty.
To the victor go to spoils, man.
And the worst part about it, they have every right.
And I'm like, the team got a boombox, staff got a boombox. I mean, they are just they are rubbing it in on you. And George Kittle got the shirt, and man, I mean, they are truly enjoying this.
As they should, because it was the Cowboys who actually, the one was more vocal going into the game about what they were going to do and what this game meant to them.
Which I said.
They were the ones who were chirping. And going back to last week when you're pissing me off, he motivated me all year from the quarterback. Well,
I said all week long, can you put too much into a game? I felt like it was just too much into a regular season game. And when you put that much in and then you perform this low, where do you go? It's almost like when Spence fought Bud, and you just like, okay, where do you go now?
I don't know. And that's the dangerous part. That is the really dangerous part because it ain't easy going forward. And the Cowboys have a history of bouncing back. I think they were 9-1, 10-1 and after a loss under Mike McCarthy the last 2 years, so they have a history of bouncing back. But this is different. This was an indictment on everything you've done, since it's offseason. This was demoralizing. It was demoralizing. Now, whether you're going to let this compound and start spiraling another way, it's up to them. But this was different than other losses. This was demoralizing.
Let's take a break. So we've talked about what was. Let's talk about what will be and the injury situation. We'll do that with Jock Taylor, Nick Harris, and Clarence Hilton, Newey Scruggs. This is the Media Mash on DallasCowboys.com radio.
Todd thought it would be secure to jog in the cheetah savanna. Todd believed the big cat repellent he bought online was reliable. And now, Todd is trying to be faster than this cheetah that can run 80 miles per hour. But the good news is, Todd has AT&T 5G that is fast, reliable, and secure. And he learned the best thing to do is stop running and toss her the backpack with the beef stew. AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure. It's not complicated.
5G requires compatible plan and device. 5G may not be available in your area. See att.com/5G for you for details.
Don't put off getting your oil changed, Dallas. Take 5 Oil Change, a proud partner of the Cowboys, is faster than you think. There's no appointment needed and no waiting room. Yep, you heard that correctly. Take 5 is so fast, you don't even have to get out of your car. You can take advantage of Take 5's fast, friendly, and simple service at any of their locations across the Dallas area. And remember, at Take 5, you stay in your car because they're faster than you think. Take 5, the official oil change of the Dallas Cowboys.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the Playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
They say champions are remembered, but legends are never forgotten. United Ag and Turf offers a winning lineup of John Deere equipment built to tackle any challenge on and off the field. Legendary John Deere tractors, combines, residential mowers, commercial mowers, compact construction equipment, Gator utility vehicles, and a full line of golf and sports turf equipment. United Ag and Turf, the official Ag and Turf equipment supplier of the Dallas Cowboys. Visit UnitedAgAndTurf.com to find a location near you.
Back to Media Mash.
Media Mash. Cowboys playing on a Monday, and it's against the Chargers. How do they bounce back? What will be after they lose to the 49ers? We're talking about it with Jacques Taylor, Nick Harris. Got Clarence Hill. I'm Newey Scruggs. So, Nick, give me an injury report here because they let that game beat up, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. A couple of guys expected to go onto the IR, according to Mike McCarthy on Monday. Leighton Vander Esch being the headliner there, dealing with neck and back issues after going into that tackle. I think it was late third quarter whenever he slammed into Micah Parsons' thigh, maybe had a block in the back in that whole situation. But nevertheless, happy it wasn't anything too bad, nothing structurally, but looking like it's going to be IR for him. So at least 4 games. Had a couple of linebackers today on a visit and working out, looking to sign one. So they're already being addressed, the depth issues there. CJ Goodwin, special teams ace, dealing with a torn pec. Looks like he's going on the IR as well. And then Peyton Hendershot, who's been dealing with an ankle injury over the course of the last couple of weeks, kind of expecting him to go on the IR here in the next few days as well. So that's all long-term stuff. Kevontae Turpin dealt with a high sprain in his ankle on Sunday night. Hoping to get him back by Monday night, but honestly, if I'm Mike McCarthy, I'm holding him until after the bye week. I don't want to risk anything there.
One addendum: the Cowboys are signing Rashaan Evans as a linebacker to bolster the depth at the position with the loss of Leighton Vander Esch. It's ironic because they both were in the same draft.
Yes,
both were first-round picks. There's a lot of talk about the Cowboys signing him, as well as I think the kid from Georgia that's at Baltimore now. Who's that? Baltimore's best player, best linebacker.
Nakobe Dean?
No, Baltimore.
Patrick Queen?
Patrick Queen.
No, the one who came from Chicago.
The one who came from Chicago. My mind has gone blank.
You said Georgia.
He didn't play at Georgia?
No, you said Georgia. That's why I said Nakobe Dean. No, I don't know who you're talking about.
I know
little bitty dude.
Yeah, you know who I'm talking about. He played at Georgia too.
Yeah.
Roquan Smith?
Yes.
Okay, there we go.
Didn't he play at Georgia?
Yeah, he did.
Yes.
He did. Honestly, you had said Georgia, so I thought Nakobe Dean.
He started with the Bears.
He's better than Nakobe Dean.
Yep.
And they didn't want to pay him, so they traded him.
But anyway, they were all in the same draft. But the bros, I'll keep it real now. Stop it. But I'm just saying they all. I remember because we did draft stories and all of them. I'm just saying it's ironic that Rashaan was out the league and not coming back, and Rashaan and Leighton really never lived up to the expectations. Certain injuries have played a role in Leighton, but it's kind of ironic that to follow careers of guys. You know who also was in that draft?
Billy Price. Right?
Nope.
Well, he was.
No. Okay. Now I'm talking about somebody special that's also played that position. Fred Warner.
Yeah, that's tough.
Fred Warner was a Cowboy fan.
Speaking of taking things personal.
Was a Cowboy fan. Cowboys passed on him in that draft. He was a third-round pick of the 49ers.
Who'd the Cowboys take instead?
They took Leighton Vander Esch in the first round. Took Connor Williams, and then they took the receiver, Gallup.
3 good picks.
Are they Fred Warner? Are they Fred Warner?
How many times do you see a team take a linebacker in round 1 and then go take one in round 3?
I don't disagree with the thought process because they had Jalen Smith already on the team, ready to step up. So
Rod Marinelli got what he wanted. So Fred Warner might not have fit the scheme like T.J. Watt. So you never know with Rod, right?
Fred Warner's a bad dude. He's just now
did he fit
coming into his own.
I mean, we've seen good players who, T.J. Watt didn't fit the scheme. So I don't know.
seriously, Rashaan Evans is the guy there to target. Whether he goes on the practice squad first or comes straight to the roster is yet to be seen. Obviously, Malik Jefferson has been called in the last 2 weeks. He's obviously an option there. One thing McCarthy talked about was using Micah Parsons more as an off-the-ball linebacker to help replace Leighton Vander Esch. He don't like it. I don't like it. But
yeah. I don't like it. I don't like it. You don't want to take away your best pass rusher on your team. I don't care what's going on in the second level. And plus, last season played 80.5 snaps on the defensive line. This year he's trending at 92. So let's keep him where he's at and try to find another option in the second level.
I do. Let me do something right quick. I do remember last May. It was a big controversy. I reported that the man told me he was going to be a defensive end playing. I'm bucking up, come play more defense. They come, no, we haven't changed positions. He's going to do the same thing he's been doing. No one's getting, Dan Quinn came out. Our position changes come through. If I haven't said nothing, 90%, huh, on defense line?
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yep. Ain't it something?
That's what I thought.
Don't break your back.
I'm just saying. I don't misquote nobody. I didn't take nobody out of context. Don't misquote nobody. They be, you know how they do us. Tell the truth, Jock Taylor. I ain't misquoting nobody.
They just mad when their secrets get out of it.
Just misquote nobody.
90%. You missed the last part of your victory lap. Bleed now?
You bleed.
Bleed now?
Who you gonna bleed? Me or your lying eyes?
So, how do you replace C.J. Goodwin? Your special teams guys.
You got two guys I think immediately jump to mind, Noah Igbenogany and Jalen Tolbert, as guys who can come in and play gunner. And we've seen what Jalen Tolbert can do. He had a huge tackle against the Patriots as a gunner.
See, Chill has no respect for specialties. He's like, who cares? He's a gunner. It doesn't matter. It don't matter till you get one out there who can't
funny,
play.
We had the same debate on Talking this morning. It was just
come on. We don't have to waste time on this stuff. Put a corner out there, one of the other corners out there, run down and cover the kick. We're not, it's funny because everybody, they're bringing in safeties. They're bringing in linebackers, and they got to find somebody to replace. You're not signing somebody off the street to replace your C.J. Goodwin, okay? You're not signing the rosters. You're not wasting the roster spot. If he was that good of a special teams guy, he wouldn't be on the street.
Chris, please mark this tape.
He would not be on the street.
Please mark this tape.
I'm just saying.
On Monday night, I'm texting you because I won't be in the game. I'll be texting you Monday night.
What are you going to text me for to say what? That the other guy couldn't measure up? Well, no, he's not C.J. Goodwin. But you're not going to break your neck to sign somebody on the street. You're going to move one of your.
You just sit up here saying this is a topic not worth talking about.
As he said, they're going to move one of the corners that's on the roster. They're going to do the job, and they're going to keep on rolling.
But you're sitting here acting like this is not worthy of our time to talk about.
Just saying, but
it's a part of the game. And if somebody's running back to the house, all of a sudden, you want to talk about it. You don't think
a first round cornerback knows how to tackle?
That's not what I was talking about.
And that what Noah does?
That is.
And isn't he a first round pick?
He is.
Does he not run like the wind?
He does.
He's faster than CJ. Go tackle. Man, go out there and coach him up. Go tackle somebody else. You already got Tolbert doing it. So Tolbert's not. You already got Tolbert doing it.
If it doesn't happen and somebody's running to the house.
Okay. And I guess since CJ's been on this team, ain't nobody ever got leaked in coverage. There've been no decent returns. Already been a couple this year. Stop it. Don't do that.
Hey, man, they put C.J. Goodwin first class on the charter. That's all I needed to know about C.J. Goodwin.
Don't do that. Don't act like ain't nobody got no leaky returns on this team when he was here. That happens. It's football. Let's go play.
You just make it sound like the man was just – you make it sound like the man was garbage.
No, you're not. He is special as a returner, but you're not signing somebody off the street because if they were special, they'd be on the team. You just got to go with what you got.
But it's your attitude.
That's all I'm saying. You got to go with what you got.
It's those special teams.
That's all I'm saying.
I know what you're saying.
See, Nick knows what I'm saying. It's not an attitude. I understand special teams. Come on, it's.
Then why you had a face palm going? Like
what we gonna do? We're gonna do. We're gonna run Noah out there and let him play.
Okay, you out here flexing like you Dante.
The thing is, though, excuse me if I'm wrong, New. I don't think we ever said we were gonna sign somebody off the street. Just what do you?
No. There's been talk. I thought. No. There's been discussion. Like when all the stuff came out about the Cowboys, some Cowboy reporters tweeted about. Yeah, they also need to find a replacement for C.J. Goodwin. When they was talking about Rashaan coming in. Come on, nobody's
not this table.
I'm just talking in general. I'm talking about the people.
We're on the media,
I'm talking for the people.
I'm sitting around here talking about.
He's arguing with the door frame.
No. I'm talking to
What do you do?
I'm talking to the audience.
I feel you.
Because there are people in the audience who think that. I'm talking to the audience. It's not just us four. We have an audience. I'm trying to get them some information. They're not signing nobody on the street.
People.
For C.J. Gould.
People.
Honestly, Noah Benogany and Jalen Tolbert, they're more than up to the task. I think the only thing that you maybe lack there is trying to find an on-field leadership guy, but we talked to Bones Fossil on Monday, and that was actually a question I asked him, who steps up there, and he feels confident in a lot of guys.
There are a lot of guys that can step up there.
And another question, I'm going to stay on special teams here. Turpin.
Yeah.
Dealing with a high ankle sprain. If he's not going, are you comfortable with Deuce Vaughn returning punts?
No, me personally, I haven't loved what I've seen from Deuce on the field so far this season. Get Rico back there, or just get someone back there that can punt catch rather than punt return. And in that sense, put CD back there.
That was something we talked about on the last podcast. Does 88
It might give him some more touches.
Yeah, that's how
you trying to get him some more touches?
He got his wish.
They get about 4 more games. Maybe 5.
They gonna have 5 stops?
I said 4 or 5. If you figure they get 11 possessions,
we'll get some more touches. Hey, CD, get out there on that punt return and recklessly kill yourself to get them extra touches.
Man, my
head. You got it right. Punt catch.
Man, might be out there bring some Sooner magic. You know, like they had the other night. Some more Sooner magic.
That's tough.
You dirty.
That's tough.
Dirty. Now, see, the Deuce is fine back there.
Yeah,
he has a chance to make of anybody. He's the one who has a chance to make a play.
Yeah, but he had the muff punt in preseason. He had the bobbled kick return in the end zone against San Francisco.
He was nervous. He was nervous.
Right. Who's to say he won't be on Monday night in LA?
Which is why I bring up an 88. You know.
It ain't gonna be down on the other end of the field. You might not be able to contact him to get back there.
I mean,
he could be away from the team.
He have a mojo moment.
He can be away from the team, not talking to nobody.
There's one under the radar option, Jalen Moreno-Cropper. He's a guy that they could elevate from the practice squad if Turpin cannot go. Has a ton of return experience from college and got a lot of return work during the preseason. So that's an option if they feel like they need to put a guy back there that can return.
We just cannot ignore special teams and act like it's not a part
Let's
of the
talk
game.
about the kicker. I mean, he's been perfect. 50-yard field goal in the win and all that stuff.
Go ahead.
Good job. He's perfect.
That's all you got.
You learned you can count on him.
Okay. I mean, I'm expecting you to give me a documentary like Michael Gelkin on this.
Let's see who had the best performances in San Francisco. Tyler Smith.
Yep. Deron Bland.
Deron Bland was solid. The kicker was good.
Yep. Price stops there.
And what Turpin was good. You know, the offense went down and Turpin got hurt.
Let's take a break. You drained.
He had a touchdown, man. Turpin was a bright spot.
Talking to you was draining, man.
He was a bright spot.
Clarence Hill, Nick Harris, Jacques Taylor, I'm Newey Scruggs. This is the Media Mash on DallasCowboys.com radio.
Todd thought it would be secure to jog in the cheetah savanna. Todd believed the big cat repellent he bought online was reliable. And now, Todd is trying to be faster than this cheetah that can run 80 miles per hour. But the good news is, Todd has AT&T 5G that is fast, reliable, and secure. And he learned the best thing to do is stop running and toss her the backpack with the beef stew. AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure. It's not complicated.
5G requires compatible plan and device. 5G may not be available in your area. See att.com/5G for you for details.
Cowboys fans, after that move, we've just coined the term Rowdy Replay. Let's roll back the tape.
Okay, there's our mascot Rowdy cheering on the boys. And now he's on his phone, on his Bank of America mobile banking app?
Staying on top of his finances with his virtual financial assistant, Erica.
Bank of America's digital tools are so impressive. Cowboys fans just can't stop banking. Learn more at bankofamerica.com/can't-stop-banking.
Erica is only available in the English language. You must download the latest version of the mobile banking app, only available on select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. Member FDIC.
Welcome back into Dear Doctor, the show where I answer life's questions with an ice-cold can of Dr. Pepper. Sheila, let's hear from our next caller, would you?
Dear Doctor, my friend supported me during a tough time, but what's the right gift that says, thanks for being a shoulder to cry on?
Okay, this one's easy. I say give her a delicious Dr. Pepper. Nothing says, thanks, girl, better than a one-of-a-kind soda. Yes, any Dr. Pepper flavor will do. Now, just a reminder that I don't need to be a real doctor to know that Dr. Pepper is the one you deserve.
They say champions are remembered, but legends are never forgotten. United Ag and Turf offers a winning lineup of John Deere equipment built to tackle any challenge on and off the field. Legendary John Deere tractors, combines, residential mowers, commercial mowers, compact construction equipment, Gator utility vehicles, and a full line of golf and sports turf equipment. United Ag and Turf, the official Ag and Turf equipment supplier of the Dallas Cowboys. Visit UnitedAgAndTurf.com to find a location near you.
Back to Media Mash.
Media Mash right here on DallasCowboys.com radio. All right, we got Jacques Taylor. His new book is out. It's called Coach Prime and the Making of Men. You've got Nick Harris, DallasCowboys.com, and Fort Worth Star Telegram's own Clarence Hill, who's got a back and forth on Twitter with Dante Whitner. So this has been very entertaining for those of you who have not seen Clarence and Dante Whitner going at it. So,
listen, I just you know. And it's not just Whitner, it's all of them. And Micah Parsons called him out, Tyreek Hill's called him out. The former players who are not analyzing anymore, just calling players their own brethren trash and
garbage.
Can I say the word ass on here? I don't know.
We've
can
already
you do
done
it
now.
I was checking, but that's what they said. Those are their words, not my words. I mean, and again, I grew up with John Madden. I grew up where we had telestrated people explaining why. Tell me why Dak Prescott didn't play well. Tell me why what the 49ers did to flummox the Cowboys offense. Don't just tell me Dak is garbage and Dak sucks. Right. I mean, that's just disrespectful. Be professional about what you're doing. Be professional about the game. You can criticize Dak and everybody else, but
there's no need to besmirch a man's name the way they're going.
No, and first of all, and especially with Dak, you're not starting at 8 years in the league. You don't have the team record for touchdown passes. You not have team record for comeback wins if you suck and you're trash. There's a reason why he's not playing well. Let's talk about that. That's what I'm saying. Why are they not playing well? That's the problem I have with all those analysts who are just hot take and quick take and looking to go viral with these moments. I don't know what's going on with your broadcaster. You're the broadcaster here at the table. It's your industry.
Well, I think a lot of it is, and I'll speak for you, Newey.
Thank you.
I mean, you're not talking about journalists. You're talking about ex-athletes who haven't been trained, and and a lot of times they know it, but they can't speak it eloquently or they can't articulate it, and so they resort to that. That's not all of them, obviously.
No, it's not all. You have some good ones that do a good job, but again, there should be some professionalism and decorum.
Howard Cosell spoke about this years ago when they started putting athletes in the Monday Night Booth. He was opposed to them, like Joe Namath and O.J. Simpson. He called it the jockocracy.
Don, man.
Right. But Don was good.
Right.
Danny was good. They had their issues at times. But what we're seeing now are companies putting people on and just telling, basically, let me hear what you have to say. And guys are getting on TV and they're finding themselves doing too much.
Yeah.
And Rodney Harrison is my friend. I like Rodney a lot. But when he was doing that show after the Kansas City Jets game, he was doing too much and talking to Chris Jones like they just boys hanging out. When he
right, we're not at a barbershop.
What he said about Zach Wilson, and I chatted with Rodney a little bit after the 49er game because he did the show out there. And Rodney called Zach Wilson, and he knew, okay, this is not where I want to go,
right.
Where I want to go with this, but. We have a problem right now. One, guys, not being trained, but then just firing off too much. When I was doing NBC Sports Radio, I had Bart Scott.
Right.
So
another line stepper.
And there were times when I would during a break, Bart, hey, we kind of want to stay away from that. Who are the people that are employing them?
Right.
And also the other people that come and just say, Jacques, let's not do this. I remember working with Drew Pearson at times, and there were a couple times where Drew would I want to say this. No, Drew, you can't say that. I can, but that's not what we want for you. And Drew listened to me. So I think that comes to a point of, who's the quote-unquote host, and then who's talking to people and coaching them, because I still think that that's what you have to do in this industry with people to say, hey, that's not who we want to be, and that's probably not who you want to be.
Well, the thing about it is that, number one, everybody has started wanting to be Charles Barkley and do some of the things that Barkley did. But Barkley has a, he laughs at himself. He doesn't take himself seriously. It works with Barkley. But these testosterone-filled NFL players, they're like, you're trash, you're this, it ain't the same when Barkley says I'm terrible and shakes his head. It doesn't come. But yes, the producers co-sign this. There's no way that Speak for Yourself and Shady McCoy gets to continue to say that stuff and they don't co-sign it.
So this one also comes into what we've seen from Donald Trump.
Right.
And what we've seen when he took the political debate storm, and it was by calling people names, Lion Ted.
Right.
Low energy Jeb Bush. You started going after all these people, and people thought this was funny, this was good, and it got more eyeballs. And I think that is now permeated over here in the sports, where you've got guys who, like you said, are not trained journalists that just want to fire off stuff and say any old thing.
Right.
I think it has started to seep down, and it's become unappealing television. And then, of course, you look at the debate shows out here and you bring these guys on, and it's filtered out there where we've lost the decorum for people.
But sadly, because it gets retweeted, they get engagement.
I was about to say, we live in a social media world. That's the catalyst of all of it.
They get engagement. So Dante Whitner's retweeting all the stuff and retweeting his comments and speak. That's what they do because people are not watching it. So to get attention, they do this and they put it on social media. So that's what we're paying. Because I don't watch Speak for Yourself, I don't even know what the name of the show is. But you only see their stuff because they put it on social media and try to go viral.
Yeah, you also have the whole Stephen A. Smith syndrome, which is I'm gonna say something loud and make you listen, not realizing that he was a reporter and a columnist for many years.
True. And not realizing that much of his stuff now is sensationalism to get attention. I mean, his takes on the Cowboy, he loves Jerry Jones. He loves a lot of Cowboy players. He knows when he does that.
Oh, that part is stick.
It's stick.
It's
stick. And so, but there's a difference. But Shade, these other people are not stick. They really have hatred. And like I said, it's funny to me because I know we're off topic, but Michael Irvin, unabashedly big time Cowboy fan. Okay, on TV does all this stuff as well. You've never seen him use his Cowboy fandom to denigrate anybody, other players. And these guys who are unabashed Eagles fans, whatever else, use their platform to go after the Cowboys because they're Cowboys. And that's the problem I have. Not legitimate debate, not legitimate analyzing of what's going on, just making it all personal.
And that part of it is the issue, Nick, is we have made things personal. And once again, I go back to that whole run as Donald Trump was running for president. That was what he did, and that was something we hadn't seen in politics. And I'm telling you, seep down, and that's what these debate shows are becoming. You get these players on here who feel like they can go and call other people this kind of stuff, and it's made it personal. And it's also, oh, by the way, entertaining. Because people are showing it over and over again, and people have found a joy in watching the insults of other folks.
Right.
And that's sad.
Right.
And
the Cowboys, because of their attention, because of their American team, and like, you're just being, you're just taking over the Cowboys. You're just, it's not, it's how you're doing it. You can do what you want, but for a huge segment, it's okay to bash the Cowboys.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I have seen it from people who are colleagues and friends of mine.
Yes.
And you do shake your head. I think there's ways that we can go about this without calling people, calling people.
There's more to our profession than that too.
It should be.
There's a lot of education that I feel like just needs to happen across the board, and it needs to happen away from social media.
And this is where you start to go back to management. This is where management's, people who are editors and producers and general managers and news directors, they have to get involved and start to say, hey, guys, this isn't what we want. And there's a way you go about saying things. And it's sad. It's sad. I'm lucky that we right here on the Dallas Cowboys podcast network, people don't do that.
No,
people don't do that. That you can be critical without trying to be insulting or personal and crossing the line. And unfortunately, you've got folks out here, and you've got networks. Look, Fox Sports that's what they do. FS4, they're into that, and when Shady came out there to training camp. He was unabashed about it. He and Acho, man, they
just came for the show.
Right.
They didn't even watch practice.
The entertainment part.
They didn't watch practice. They came and said, we showed up. Well, you didn't talk to nobody. You didn't get on inside. That's my point. Is even with Dan Orlovsky and some people who make statements about the Cowboys, have you talked to anybody inside the organization and got what they felt and what they said? Then you can make your opinion. Have you watched them and what they do before you make this opinion? That's your job. That should be your job. Put it that way.
You'd like to think that, but it's that way. And I'll say this: this is the tough part about being a quarterback here. From Tony Romo to Dak Prescott, is it gets magnified a whole lot. You're getting paid a lot of money, and it comes with the meal. This is what happens if you're playing for the Lakers. And luckily for Shaquille, social media wasn't around. No. And he was his first 3 years when they couldn't win anything because he took a beating in town. I took a beating in town because I was always behind Shaquille O'Neal. I mean, I took for 4 hours at times. I would take a beating for Shaquille O'Neal, and my belief that he would end up being the player he was. But this is it's a challenge here. It is a challenge for these players.
And listen, I'm not feeling sorry for Dak. Okay,
no,
to a certain extent, Dak has won in life.
Yeah, for $40 million
from where he came from where he came from, he has won in life.
Yeah, Dak and Romo. I mean, you talk about some guys in their situations.
He has won in life, but he's a competitor. He wants he wants to win and all the other stuff. But just some of the stuff is just
the victory.
It's even with Romo, it's worse now, just because social media is different. All these shows weren't on in 2016 before. The daily element, the number of shows, the social media, the focus is different right now, and the vitriol is just, it's ugly. Even among Cowboy fans, and that's what's crazy to me because the national shows have Cowboy fans hating on their own players. They're a Cowboy fan. Yeah, he deserves it. He sucks. Get rid of him. Yes, just because they're mad, and it's the 28-year malaise, the 28-year drought that's all heaped right now, and they want it now.
The trade talk ones are really funny. So you're not happy with him, but you're going to go trade it
for 3 first-round picks.
So you're trading him for all this capital, and don't realize you got a no trade clause. I brought it to somebody. So what about the cap hit? The cap is not real.
Yeah, okay.
Ask the Eagles if it was real with Wentz. Ask the Rams if it was real with Goff. It is real. It is real. But $61.9 million. What are you going to do? It's just very interesting. My guy Chris Candy. We know Chris from our time. Yeah. Chris out there last week talking about trade Justin Fields now. His value will never be higher. Like, to who?
To what? And what you going to get? There's no guarantees out there. We see with all these quarterbacks. We see with Trey Lance, bless his heart. There are no guarantees because you draft a guy high that he's going to hit. But to be fair, these are all legitimate questions. That's what, I know we got to close, but that's what this week and this season is about because now it's a referendum on do you sign Dak to long term and what you do with his contract?
That's a bigger referendum on the head coach.
I was getting to the head coach. He fired everybody. If this thing goes awry, he's gone. CeeDee Lamb's contract. All this stuff is on the line.
And then the other part is, once upon a time, you say, hey, okay, if McCarthy's gone, who's next in line? Oh, obviously it would be Dan Quinn.
Back up right here real quick. Yeah. Because we heard Jerry yesterday on 105.3 The Fan say Dak is his guy, can get the Cowboys where they want to go. How do you feel about what he said?
I mean, that's what Jerry's supposed to say now. And that's what he's going to say. And again, we even if the Cowboys want to move on with Dak, they're not moving on to after 2024. They're locked into the contract. Now, they may not sign to an extension, but they're locked into 2024 because of the cap hit. So he's saying what he has to say, what he's supposed to say, just like he supports the offense. He's going to say all the right things the 5th week of the season.
Nick.
I agree with Clarence here. I don't necessarily agree with Jerry unless Dak is in a system that's playing to his strengths, and I just don't feel like that's what's been happening these first 5 weeks. They're forcing him to be something he's not.
Well, I mean, the whole thing is we'll see, and the extension talk is the most curious talk to me because we all assumed he gets one. Well, if he doesn't, how does that play out?
Yeah, then you're playing next year as a lame duck quarterback with them looking for the future, and you got a $69 million cap hit. So all of that's on the line to me in the rest of the next 11, 12 games.
And this is why we watch They are getting ready to face the Los Angeles Chargers on Monday. How do they make sure that one loss doesn't become two? How do you move forward? Look, the 49ers are the 49ers. They're Bud Crawford, but you're not facing Bud Crawford next week.
I would say there's a really good opportunity here for this offense to bounce back. Chargers giving up some of the most pass yards in the league right now. So if they want to get this offense back on track, figure out this pass game, this vertical game,
the receivers got to get the
they
separation.
better do it this time.
Nobody gives you a chance like Brandon Staley.
Now that is true.
Nobody in the business. Nick Harris, thank you. Clarence Hill, thank you. Jock Taylor, thank you. I'm Newey Scruggs. Talk to you next time right here on the Media Mash on DallasCowboys.com radio.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this,